Guys, I asked you just a little while ago if you would like to see a video about my struggles, I guess, in the first semester of college. For those who do not know, I am currently in my freshman year. I'm starting my second semester of college, and I feel like I've grown so much as a person and as a student over my semester. Overall, I absolutely love the college experience. I just feel like every single day is completely different from the one before. I feel like I've just been able to have an open mind to all sorts of things that I did not previously maybe think about or, expose myself to people I just never would have met otherwise. And overall, my experience has been absolutely phenomenal, and I love going back to school. So don't take all of these sort of maybe negative or difficult things as me saying I don't like college, when in actuality, I absolutely love it. So the first thing that was definitely a challenge was to first start getting my bearings and to understand locations of different buildings around my college campus. Starting in a new place is always kind of hard, especially if you're just kind of thrown in. And in addition, it was also kind of hard to learn how to get around, meaning whether it was best for me to walk, and if so, which route was the best to take, especially between class buildings, rather than just from my dorm to a specific building, as well as whether I should take the bus or which bus route, because there's several bus routes that we have available to us that go different directions or to different places. So that was definitely a struggle that was easily overcome just by time, I guess. And so that wasn't as big of an issue, but it was something that was sort of difficult in the first week or so of being at school. Something else that I found really difficult for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the semester, because that is sort of a huge adjustment period in which I had to learn how to live my life without my parents and my family always with me. My parents were super involved in everything that I did. It was really nice to be able to come back home from school or my activities and stuff like that and just talk to my mom about my day. And for when I'm here at school, I have to call them on the phone, which I do very, very frequently. I know not everyone does, but move-in day especially I think was really, really, really difficult for me, because I think just the saying goodbye is really hard for people you've literally lived with every single day for all 18 years of life before going to college. So it was definitely a super emotional thing for my parents to say goodbye, because I'm also the oldest kid. And it was also sort of difficult for me to deal with all of my health issues independently of my parents, because they always were able to sort of sort out different things for me and be able to help me out with doctor's appointments and getting blood work done and that sort of stuff, which I then had to start doing on my own once I was at school. So it's just sort of the life without parents. So it is the independence, which is really nice, but I thought it was hard for me to adjust to that right at the beginning of the semester. I've obviously adjusted as the semester's gone on, and I'm totally fine, but it is really, really nice to see them and talk to them. And another thing that I found very, very hard, which I think this could be applied to really anyone in any sort of college program, whether it's undergraduate, graduate, PhD, etc., but managing an extremely challenging and difficult course load was a lot for me, because I did take really hard classes in high school. If you guys have been subscribed to my channel for a really long time, then I'm sure you remember I used to do videos on my specific different AP classes I was in, and I had my study with me videos and my study routine type things. And so I have those, and I also had to learn not only how to deal with a really, really difficult course load, because my school is definitely ranked pretty high, I guess, in the United States, but I also had to learn that it was okay to let go of this constant striving for the perfection of grades. My chemistry class was incredibly difficult for me. I definitely cried over it a couple of times because I wasn't getting the results I wanted. There was no curve. Oftentimes the average for any exam we'd take would be a 65 or 70% for all several hundred people in my class, which was very, very frustrating considering how much time I put into it. I ended with a grade that I was proud of, but it was just very, very difficult for me because I'd never gotten a grade that low in high school before. So that was definitely a challenge in college. Another thing was realizing that I may not want what I thought I once did, and this sort of showed itself in where like I was deciding on slightly different major than I came in thinking I wanted to do, and also possibly not being on the pre-med track because mainly because of how hard chemistry was for me. And so I am taking a second semester of chemistry to possibly fulfill the requirements of being a pre-med person, but I'm not really positive I'm going to continue following down that track just because I'm not sure if that's really what I want anymore. I know that I initially, like since 10th grade really, I've always wanted to major in neuroscience, but now that I've been here at college, I have discovered that cognitive science, which is a slightly different, more interdisciplinary major, covers several different areas including neuroscience, and something that I think sounds super interesting. So I am looking forward to taking more classes that will fulfill those prerequisite requirements and seeing if that's something that I would rather do instead. But I think realizing that what I thought I always once wanted isn't what I will end up doing is something that I definitely had to sort of grapple with at my time in my first semester. And I've definitely realized that it's totally okay to change your mind. And I have friends who've changed their majors like 4 or 5 times in their like 3 years of school thus far. So I know it's completely okay to do so. It was also tough figuring out how to balance my YouTube channel, which is like technically, it doesn't have to be a big time commitment, but I do want to do my very best with making videos that you guys are interested in seeing. It was hard to balance my YouTube channel along with a social life and with my tough academic life because for my first semester I was taking the maximum amount of credits that I was allowed to take in my first semester of freshman year. They did have like a cap on how many credits we were allowed to take, and I took the most possible, so that was definitely a lot of work. Definitely I had a lot of time commitments because I'm also involved in many, many different like extracurricular things and clubs here and different organizations that I'm really, really glad I spend my time with. But it was definitely really hard figuring out how to balance that with my YouTube channel. And I'm sure you guys realized that as like maybe like September and October, I didn't really post as regularly as I wanted to. And even now, occasionally I miss a Sunday here and there because of commitments and because of different things that I have going on. So that was definitely hard. I sort of got into a better rhythm as the semester went on, and I'm planning on getting better about that too. Another struggle that ended up being really, really awesome was adjusting to life with a roommate. I thought I wouldn't like having a roommate because I do like having like my alone time and being able to decompress and not worry about, always being around people, because I definitely used to be a lot more introverted than I am now. But I absolutely love my roommate. She's one of my closest friends here at school, and it's so nice just being able to come home to someone and just talking about my day, and we catch up. We always do things together. It's super fun. And the other thing that was definitely very stressful, and I think will be stressful every year, was the stress about housing for the upcoming year. So in like September and October, I think I was actually doing my housing plans with my friends for the year, for like my 10th or my sophomore year of college during my freshman year first semester. So it was kind of stressful knowing who I was going to be living with, or deciding even who I was going to be living with during that time. And then my last sort of struggle that got a lot easier as time went on was definitely missing friends from home. At the beginning of the semester, I found it really difficult because I had a lot of really, really awesome, good, close friends. My best friend from home, he and I still like talk on the phone all the time when I'm at school. But I found that with a lot of my friends, we started growing apart a little bit more, just because we're all in different places and we all just have different things going on. But so it's really nice to see them all once I've gone back on break, but it is definitely true that you do end up, I think, growing apart a little bit, and that was something that was sort of difficult for me to struggle with, and realize that it's okay to move on. And I have amazing, wonderful, awesome friends that I have here at school that I honestly like really, really, really love, and I didn't think I would really find that in another place, so I was really upset about leaving my friends from home initially. But I hope this gave you guys sort of a look into the different challenges I sort of faced throughout the semester, and I just again wanted to just say that I absolutely have overcome most of these things. I'm still obviously deciding whether I'm pre-med or not and finalizing my major. Maybe I'm double majoring, maybe taking a minor. I'm not really positive about that yet, but I know that for the most part, I was able to overcome these, and I'm having the time of my life in college, and I hope you all have the same experience once you're there as well. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I wish you guys a wonderful week. Bye, guys!